Yes.
My name is Dwayne Owens. I'm glad I'm here today, and thank you all for sharing your opinions. And I just have a few comments. It seems to me that you all expressing there's a great divide between women and men in the industry. And I think that one of the things that can be done to override that or to kind of change the guard is to mentor men, young men, that are wanting to have an opportunity in the industry. If there's an instance where, men and women I'm saying, and if there's an instance where men are the overriding force at the top of the industry, being that they've had an opportunity to work under women that are qualified, that are talented, or professional, then when they're put into position or receive those opportunities, that then they will be able to remember where they got their start from, their training from, and those people that have, because it's more of a networking thing. And then when you say, hey, so-and-so, this person needs an opportunity, I think y'all need to take a look at it. And they say, okay, bring them in, they interview them, whatever the process is. And they say, we're going to give this individual a shot, and that individual will be that woman, because they understand I've had opportunity to work with women, and it's not a question of talent, ambition, or drive. They're very talented, women are, and very knowledgeable, very driven, probably more so than us as men are, diligent. I would say that for the women that I've had opportunity to work with. And the other part of it is, I would say, would be more so kind of like lobbying or advocacy, because I know that, so I'll give an example with the SBA, the United States Small Business Administration. They have programs that cater towards minority women. They give them grant fundings and programs that says, okay, if we're going to start a small business sustainability, we're going to give you this, and a certain percentage of that company has to be owned by that woman. And so I would think that that would be an avenue to go in order to kind of change the guard, so to speak, as the others fade out, maybe bring in a new regime of young men who understand, young men and women who understand the plight that the industry is facing.
Thank you for that comment. And the fact that there are other organizations such as Women Make Movies that are not just for women, but who welcome men who tell women's stories, and there are lots of male, audience members here in this room who are interested in women's stories as well. So thank you. Can we take another question? Go ahead.
Speaking to the discrepancy between men and women in the industry, to what degree do you think that is a matter of sort of a passive state of mind, and to what degree do you think it's more of an active resistance by the male?
It's economics. It's economics. The money has dropped out of the business. Jobs that people used to get paid $100,000 for, they get paid $20,000 for now. So if you're a man and you're a producer and you're hiring 5 directors for the season, you're going to hire the guys you golf with that you know they're putting their kids through college. You know, a lot of it has to do with economics. A lot of the reasons that they figure, honestly, it's like that post-World War II mentality of, well, she's got a husband at home, but my friend has kids in college, I'm hiring him. So a lot of it is economics, and so in that regard, I would say that it is almost unconscious, that it isn't so much that we are the boys and you're out. It's that it's a scarcity mentality. There's only so many crumbs on the table, and we're passing them out to our buddies. And and that's one of the reasons that it self-fulfills, is that.
Well, and with that, I think it is. Guys will go out and have a drink together. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard for me to go if my boss is a man without people starting to talk if we go have drinks together after work. And women don't really do that type of networking. That, like the boys club that they create for themselves within the work environment. Women, if they are working and they have a family, they usually don't have time to do that. And it's something we really need to make a conscious effort over.
And they just do a study about in recession right now, isn't 90% of the jobs in our recession overall, not just the industry, are going to men, and it is back to the World War II. It is that scarcity. And men have to provide for their families, even though I think statistically it's 40% of women who provide for their families, but it's still that idea, it's that knee-jerk reaction. We have one job, we have to give it to a man. I don't even think it is a conscious process, so I think that does translate in the industry. I'm not in the industry, but I'm assuming just from where I work, I've seen that
I think also the economics is true, and now it's all only 5 jobs, but there's a comfort level that comes with it. If you look at Spielberg and Clint Eastwood, they still work with the exact same team because they know who they are and they can trust them.
Sure.
And then so when it's down to 5 jobs, it's like, okay, well, I know these 5 directors really well. Oh, well, they've worked the longest, I've worked with them the longest, they happen to be male, as opposed to, okay, let's take a shot at this new female director.
Yeah, because this is one of the things they use is called late script delivery in television. Because the hour dramas, a lot of times the script will not really arrive in full form until the day before they're shooting. And so the theory goes that because of late script delivery, women can't really do the job because they don't have enough experience, because they never get hired. So how could they have that? I mean, they don't have, 40 episodes under their belts. They might have 3 or 4. So if you have late script delivery on your show, you're not going to hire women because they've only got 3 or 4 episodes to their credit. So you're going to go with the guys who have done this over and over and over and over again. And that's a big one in the industry, late script delivery.
I'm curious about, you mentioned it, a gentleman in the back, about having organizations, the Better Business or the Business Association. Women in film, I don't think we have like a women's filmmaker group in this area, but in your experience, is that effective? Is it an advocacy, or is it just a gathering?
No,
They have it, but
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
effective, no.
Right, I'm just curious, I didn't think so,
It's
but I was
just a
curious.
political organization.
I mean,
Yeah,
like with Janet Grillo, the girl that I did Flyaway with, which is opening in April, and which is a very lucky thing. But it was really interesting how many women we know together mutually, Janet and I, and how many did not help us. Some people did, like a few people, but it was really interesting to go, wow. Like women that felt that were in competition with us did not, and I would hold the damn boom for her if it got her movie made. I mean, the fact that I played the lead is just because somebody had to, but it's really very rare. And those women in film things, it just doesn't work.
But see, here's the thing, it's not just women in film. Like, when I was part of Women in Film, I was part of, some of those other groups as well that weren't just women-oriented. I don't know if it's a thing about LA, but that's just people who sit around and talk about making movies. They don't actually go and do anything about it. So I ended up dropping out, not because of any policy or whatever. It's just, I always what am I sitting here, that these people are always talking about stuff, and it's like, I can go home, pick up a camera, and go make something, So that's kind of the vibe I got from those organizations.
There are some other organizations, though, that support independent filmmakers. One in particular that I'm thinking about is New Day Films, and those of you who are independent filmmakers should know about that. It's a 40-year-old independent filmmakers self-distribution cooperative, and I'm a member. I have 2 films in it, and honest to God, I get a check every month from a film that premiered in 2002, and it's really honest. You do your own marketing, but it's you have the support of the co-op, and the fulfillment of the orders is done through a central office in New York, and it is a really powerful place to be if you're an independent filmmaker. People help each other out in all kinds of different ways, with marketing, with crew referrals, and even one of my fellow filmmakers introduced me to a foundation which has given me quite a bit of money to help with finishing and distributing Trust. So that's I think a really good place.
Another, speaking of really supportive places, now we have the internet, which is great. I mean, being in Cleveland, I don't think I could have survived without the internet, but something called the D Word, or documentary, for documentary professionals, but they also have a few places you can go, like a mentoring place to get advice from people, and I've belonged to that for several years. Like, these people are really my friends, I'll see them in person every once in a while. It's like, oh my gosh. And a fellow there, I'd been talking about this film I'd been working on for years, so they knew all the trials and tribulations they'd been going through, and so when I was finally about to finish it, a sound mixer from LA who, he mixes Entourage, and I mean, he's really experienced, he's been doing this for 30 years or something, and he's just interested in documentary, and so he agreed to mix my film for me. So, I mean, that was amazing. And, you know, I emailed, exported the file, and it was all done electronically, but it's, and most of my recommendations, even for editors, you know, I guess there'd be people I meet in person occasionally, but again, so much is from this discussion group. So
What's it called again?
the D word. I'm surprised you're not a member. But,